Want more positivity in your life? Subscribe, turn on notifications, follow us, and all that techie stuff. We'd love to hear from you. Comment, share, or give us a thumbs up. We are grateful to have you hanging out with us at Matt Logan Speaks.
Hey everybody, welcome to Thought and Perspective. I am Matt Logan, your host, and I am humbled to be here in Austinburg, Ohio today. I wanted to talk to you about intentional understanding today. And that's a place that I had to come to when my daughter died in a car crash a little bit over 8 years ago. Intentional understanding. Not just understand it by a whim, but really digging into it and understanding it completely and fully in all the different pieces that was involved in that. On Matt Logan Speaks, my channel, we do a quote of the day, and the quote of the day the other day was Nelson Mandela: "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." And again, that's attributed to Nelson Mandela. Powerful, isn't it? And I was thinking about that. My intentions for 2020 are very different than where we're ending up here towards the end of the year. My intentions were to build a whole conference around courage. In fact, one of the things that, well, if you look at the top of my page, the quote, the kind of the mission, the goal is, together we're creating a culture of courage. Well, we've obviously had a pandemic. We've obviously had a lot of difficult things happen in 2020, and the way you intended 2020 to turn out is probably extremely different. If it's not, you might be living on a different planet. However, one of the things that we have to do is we have to kind of change directions. We have to understand what is happening and change directions. Not that the end goal is different, but we have to maybe go north for a while before we can head back south again, and so on. And with that, what I want to say about intentional understanding is that we have to go at things to understand them intentionally. It doesn't happen by accident. If we don't dig into things, if we don't look at the things that are surrounding us and our circumstances, things that happen to us beyond our control, if we don't dig into them and we don't intentionally understand them, we are going to flop around in the wind, and we are going to be like the small little boat on the ocean in a storm. We're going to just bounce all over the place. We're going to completely lose direction and not know where we're headed. In the death of my daughter in her car crash, injuries related to her car crash, I made a promise. And that promise was to help people understand that you can move forward. You can have that triumph over things. You can have courage to do that. Together, we're creating a culture of courage. And what that means is that I have to do my part. You have to do your part. And that means that we have to intentionally understand where we're coming from. I love to sit down and chat with people. In fact, I had to come to the intentional understanding for the podcast, and in fact, the whole direction of Matt Logan Speaks. The end goal is the same, but we've had to take some lefts and some rights and some ups and some downs, and to continue to go towards the goal, to reach the goal. And that goal is intentionally understanding each other. I don't like to sit down in front of the camera by myself. I love to learn and have conversations with other people, but my intentions were changed by the lockdowns and the pandemic and people having just a different perspective on whether or not we should meet in person. And I'm very much a face-to-face person. So 2021 and looking forward to that and continuing those goals, one being to get back into high schools to help share the message of what I learned through my daughter's car crash. She was a high school student, and that's very important in the promises that I made to help other people learn through a tragedy, to learn through the pain, to have courage. Not that fear is absent like Nelson Mandela. It's not, but have the courage to triumph over it. I'm going to leave you with that today. However, I get a lot of questions. Hit the like button. In fact, I have a video that it's hammer the like button, hammer the share button, hammer out a comment. If you would take just a few minutes to go ahead and rate us on like Apple Podcast or Spotify or some of those things, that helps us out. We do appreciate it. Again, your host, Matt Logan. My thought is, have courage today. Have courage, not in the absence of that fear, as Nelson Mandela said, but have courage that you can triumph over it. See you next time.